What's going on, y'all? It's Josh and Kelsey. We are back with another video. Alright, y'all, today we're taking in New Braunfels, Texas, speaking to little Emma Voelker. Now, Emma was 12 years old, and unfortunately, she had her life taken way too early. Y'all, it's a sad story. A little heavy, but it does have a peaceful ending. So, Kelsey, you want to tell us a little bit more?
Emma was born October 28, 1861. She tragically passed July 23, 1874 at the age of 12. Emma's father was a pharmacist in the New Braunfels area. In a nearby town, another pharmacist, William Foss, worked with her father, and when he traveled out of town, his wife Helen would stay the night at the home of Emma's family. Helen always slept in Emma's bed when she stayed the night. Emma would sleep on the floor or a trundle bed, which is a smaller twin-size bed that sits next to the main bed. Depending on which accounts you read, it either says she was in a trundle bed or on the floor. Either way, she was at floor level. On the night of July 23rd, Helen and Emma switched sleeping spots for an unknown reason. In the middle of the night, William broke into the home, snuck into Emma's room, then repeatedly swung an axe to kill his wife. Only his wife was not in the bed. It was Emma. When William realized his wife was on the floor, he struck her once with the axe, then fled the home. Helen sustained a near-fatal blow but survived. William was arrested in November 1874 for the murder of Emma and attempted murder of his wife. In October 1875, he was convicted and sentenced to life in prison. The community continued to be outraged by the killing of Emma. William was moved around to different jails because of several attempts to kill him. On July 28, 1876, someone was successful in killing him. He was shot and killed through the window of his jail cell.
All right, everybody. Well, we're here to speak to little Emma. Sweet little Emma, 12 years old. A lot of people say that she's known to hug. So I want to start out just right off the bat. Kelsey and I want you to know, little Emma, anytime you want to give us a hug, it's okay with us. We've been hugged before, and we enjoy the hug. So feel free to do so. But Emma, my name is Josh. This is my beautiful wife, Kelsey. We did kind of explain what we're doing today, who we are. But we just want to just remind you again that we do come in full peace and light and love. And Emma, we mean no disrespect or ill intent. Emma, you had a tough passing. Your family had it rough, probably dealing with that. And we just really, Emma, we just want to make sure that you and your family are in peace. We want you to know that you're more than just a sad story that someone put in a paper. You're more than that. So, Emma, we just want to make sure you're in peace, your family's in peace, and that we have permission to speak to you. So, before we get started, though, do we have permission to speak to you, Emma? Do we have permission, Emma? Mr. Julius? Did you say we do? Yes. Okay. All right, Kelsey heard yes. I thought I heard yes too. I just wanted to double check. It's a lot to say there today.
Always good to be sure.
Yeah. All right. Well, Emma, we're going to ask a few questions now. Nothing too heavy. There might be a few questions that might be a little heavier, but nothing too heavy. We do come in full peace, so please know that. Before we get started, we want to make sure that you and your family are resting in peace. So, Emma, are you and your family in peace?
Andy. Yeah. Nine.
Adrian, are we okay? All right, Kels. All right. I did hear yes. I heard some confirmation on that, which is good, Emma, because that's our whole mission here. Just make sure you guys are resting in peace. Kels, you got any questions you want to start off with Emma?
Yeah, so Emma, it looks like you are very loved. You have all sorts of toys and flowers and a pinwheel that we actually played with before we got the conversation going. And so I was curious, is it just visitors that bring you all these items, or do you have family that still comes and visits?
Really try. Can only yeah. Easy. From our
All right, Kels. I'm sorry, Kels. I'm quite sure I'm getting a hug on my right side. I'm not.
Oh, sweet Emma, let's ask her.
Somebody is touching me, and I feel like I feel a hug. I thought I heard hug. I just want to ask you, Emma, am I getting a hug right now? I'm sorry, but I feel like somebody's hugging me. It did. All right. Okay. All right. See. I don't feel it right now. It wasn't the
Yeah.
wind. I just wanted to make sure. That was neat. Okay. Well, good. Well, thank you, Emma. Thank you so much for that little gift. My question is, do you enjoy all the visitors and attention and gifts you get? Shauna, are we okay, ma'am?
all those lights being
All right, Kel. I know they're active today. There's a lot of responses coming in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we appreciate that. Kelsey, you got a question for Emma?
Well, speaking of it being active, since we've been here, there's been a lot of beautiful monarch butterflies. We've seen deer.
Hawks?
So my question would be for you, Emma, are all the animals and beautiful butterflies that we're seeing, is that connected to people that are here?
On. What I about
All right. All right. Well, Kelsey, you got anything you want to ask? Or you want me
You
to
go
go?
ahead.
We're kind of spitballing this here, so bear with us. There's a question I have, Emma, and I I just want to I want to make sure something. Is your parents resting with you?
things.
Walter, are we okay, sir?
Figure was stuck. Emma,
All right, Kelsey. Thought I heard all three together.
Yeah,
That's what I thought I heard. Okay,
I
but I
do,
don't know. I have to go back on that one.
just to make sure. I do have a question for Emma, and this might be a little difficult, but I was just curious. In the multiple news articles and blogs that are written about what had happened that night, they had said that typically you would not sleep in the trundle bed. But that evening you had switched positions. And I was just curious, what was the reason for that?
let's just had just there to me. Only get back. Shot.
All right, Kelsey. All right, I have a question. Sir, ma'am, this is for Mr. Julius, Miss Lois. I can't imagine going through that. I can't imagine having that happen to your child. I got a question. Were you able to forgive after that, or did it is that something you can't look past?
Yes. Family. Okay. What do you want? We something other spelled like everything. That for teeth there. That's what I mean. Stairs. So slowly. Go.
All right, Kelsey. So kind of going off of that, how was you able to cope, ma'am and sir? What did you do to cope to deal with the tragic passing of your daughter?
I would like you would be. Which were
All right. All right. Kelsey, you got a question?
I do have a question. So, kind of going along with the things that we've been asking, I know that not only were the parents outraged by what had happened, but the whole community was just distraught by this tragic event that took place. And they all rallied around the family, and in the end, justice was served. And so, I'd like to know, are you happy with the way justice was served, with the way things turned out?
what oh so
All right, Kelsey. All right. What question I have for kind of the whole crew here?
The whole family.
Do you feel like you were respected today by Kelsey and I, by us coming to check on your piece? All right, Kelsey. So yesterday, Kelsey and I we're obviously, I'm sure you guys know this, we're not from here, we're just visiting. And we were looking for someone to talk to check on peace, to make sure they were in peace. That's what we always try to do when we come to a new city. We want to try to offer a little peace. So when we saw your story, we both instantly just felt like a connection, like we were supposed to come and speak to you. Did you guys know that? Did y'all know we were coming?
You are hitting I do. Get in with that. So she was playing.
All right. Go ahead, Kelsey. I heard yes.
Yes.
I did hear that. And before we get out of here, Kelsey and I, so we do film these, as you guys see and know, and we have a lot of people that watch these. Mr. Julius, Miss Lois, sir and ma'am, there are several people that have lost children. I always, anytime we talk to someone who had lost a child, we always just want to see if that person, that soul, that spirit can give maybe a little advice to someone that might be suffering from a broken heart or suffering with that heartache, with the loss of a child, for various reasons. It's not always like your circumstance. So, sir, ma'am, do you have any advice to anybody that might be dealing with the loss of a child?
That it
All right.
Dark lady.
Well, Kelsey, you got anything before we get out of here?
I have a lighthearted question for Miss Emma before we get out of here. So, Miss Emma, as you can see, I'm in a dress right now and it is hot. And I was standing here thinking, back in the time that you were around, dresses were not this cool and comfortable. So, they were a lot thicker fabric, heavier. So my question is, what did you do to stay cool during this hot Texas summer? We're not even in the middle of summer. It's just the beginning of summer and it's hot. So with those thick dresses, what did you do to stay cool?
Yeah, because where we're from, it gets really hot too. But
Yeah.
you go hotter a little quicker than we get hotter.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a good question.
Yeah, I'm just curious, especially since you're younger. I don't know if you would go down to the creek or the river or what you would do. I'm just curious.
I'll be in that river if I was
Me
there.
too.
With my dress on, Emma. I'd be out there backstroking
Yes.
down the river with my dress on, okay? And I don't even wear a dress.
All right, let's see what she has to say.
Wanted family. He was my
Mary Ellen.
Mary Ellen, are we okay, ma'am? All right. And that brought me a question, popped in my head. So my question, Miss Lois, did you make homemade ice cream back then? Because I feel like that'd be a great way to cool off and also have a little treat. So did you make homemade ice cream? And I know that's very random, but I think of how hot it is, and I thought, you know what? I could use some ice cream today. So I thought I'd ask Miss Lois if she makes some homemade ice cream.
I would serve it. There's next thing about
All right, cool. All right. Well, that was just a little lighthearted question. But Miss Emma, Mr. Julius, Miss Lois, we thank you so much for speaking to us. We thank you for your hospitality, your kindness, and the love. We feel your love right now. Miss Emma, we thank you for the hug. Thank you so much for that. So until the next time we talk to you, we ask that the whole family rest in peace and rest in light.